Uber lost $1.1 billion last quarter. That is 3 months for those of you who don't understand what quarters are. Atlanta go hard in terms of Uber and Uber drivers getting a little bit too aggressive. And we got a super racist CEO in Arizona who got fired.
Super racist.
Getting caught on tape. A new scam out there affecting drivers, but it's not what you think. Stay tuned. And we got a lot more extra goodies and tidbits. Welcome, Gridwisers, to another podcast 17, or should I say video 17, and then we'll turn this into a podcast.
I think it's a podcast.
In post-production.
It's a podcast now.
Well,
I don't really care if it's a video.
I feel like the users...
Podcast.
I feel like you and I are talking into some strange things, Brandon.
Yeah, should we lean into this? These are new, so I think everyone's going to be able to see we got a little different setup.
We
here.
Sure do.
A little different setup. We got some nice gigantic mics. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we sound a little bit better.
For those of you who claim that this is not a podcast, now it is. We have podcast mics.
We spent a lot of money on mics. Yeah. How is it not a podcast?
Now it's definitely a podcast, especially when we're on Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on
Apple Podcasts.
We have RSS feeds.
We've got an RSS feed.
All in the link in the description below. Just search for Gridwise. You don't need to click the link.
So don't comment, this is not a podcast.
Oh, man, it triggers me so much when they do that.
Because it is a podcast. Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
We won't name this person because that's all he wants.
If I remembered your name right now, I'd probably name you.
He or she wants all the attention, and we will not give it to Jonathan Radcliffe.
Okay, let's talk about it. Uber losing $1.1 billion. That sounds like a shit ton of money.
That sounds like more than I'll ever make in 10 lifetimes.
Believe in yourself.
Thanks,
what do you think? What's going on here? Why is Uber losing all this money?
What's going on here is I think this is great.
This is great?
You know why?
Why?
Because they lost like $5 billion last quarter, the quarter before that. So I feel like they've really, once you lose 3x less, we're on an upward trajectory.
All right, so they didn't actually. I think they lost 800 million, not billion. They lost 800 million, I think, last year. 836 million, which is coming to mind. I'm not sure how correct that is. But in Q2, they did lose 3.2 billion. That was like the bad quarter. Q1, I think they lost around 1 billion. So it is. It's actually up from Q3, and it's actually, I'm pretty sure it's up year over year, their loss as well. But like the margin of losses from based on like their revenue is that ratio between their revenue and their actual loss is actually smaller. So they are losing more, but they have a lot more revenue, which does make sense.
And another interesting fact, Uber Eats has grown like 20%.
Did you know Uber Eats is bigger than Grubhub now?
I didn't know that.
Uber Eats is bigger than Grubhub.
How about you guys watching? Did you know that?
Did you know that? Grubhub is actually trying to get purchased. They're actually looking at
that's right.
Purchase opportunities.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this?
They were trying to get a deal done with Uber.
No, that was DoorDash.
Okay. We did talk about
DoorDash
that.
was also trying to get purchased.
Well, we didn't talk about Grubhub.
But we didn't. Yeah. So Uber Eats is bigger than Grubhub as of last quarter. I am assuming they've just grown that. I haven't looked at the total numbers. I'm assuming they've grown that. So Grubhub is kind of in trouble, but they're profitable. But I think they have a hard time seeing a path to competing when there's Uber Eats or there's just much better shit. Like, when's the last time you ordered Grubhub?
Pretty much never. I mean, I'm always on Uber Eats.
Have you ever ordered Grubhub?
I have. I've actually used all the services except Postmates.
Caviar.
Never used Caviar. That's actually, I don't think that's here.
GoPuff.
I don't think that's here either.
I think Caviar just launched in Chicago. I got like a thing in the mail for Caviar.
It's like a gift card or something, or
like
referral.
A referral. Yeah. VC money.
And it's basically all worth the same. You just order from a restaurant, right?
Essentially.
So we got like 24 different platforms all doing the same damn thing.
I think that's a great question. How the fuck, like, in 10 years, are there really going to be 17 different platforms that do the same thing?
This reminds me of back in the early 2000s, all the different internet search
engines,
and now we just have Google.
You just have Google.
Yeah,
that's gonna be interesting. I mean, for drivers and deliverers, like it's better for everyone to be like spread out.
Are we gonna be those millennials 50 years from now who are I only order from Grubhub or Uber Eats, and all the kids are like, all the Tide Pod eating generations like, we don't use that. We use Uber. We use Uber as a platform. Just like we use Google as
Uber,
a platform.
Uber.
You know how Grandpa and Grandma, we use Yahoo or Bing.
That's what Uber is trying to do. They're just trying to be like a platform for everything.
They really are for everything. For anything that's mobility oriented, that was Dara's vision actually.
Yeah, that's big.
You guys know that, yeah.
That's big.
And not just for Uber, not for just their own transportation modes. They're trying to be a platform for public transport too.
Yeah.
So all you do if you want to get from point A to point B, is you open the Uber app. You got subways, you got plane, airfare, you got tickets.
I don't know how they expect to
beat Google
overtake.
on that.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I'm not using Uber.
I do Google Flights if I'm trying to buy I don't even use Kayak anymore.
No, I just use Google Flights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you.
What about you guys watching?
What do you guys use to fly? Google Flights.
Let us know in the comments below.
Kayak. What's a great question is, can Uber beat Google Maps in terms of being a travel platform? Travel platform.
You're right, because Google Maps you can buy Uber on. Google Maps you can buy a Lyft on.
You can do the scooters.
You can do a Scootaloo. You can do Subways.
And everyone already.
You know where else you can get a Subway? Uber driver app.
No, you can't.
That's right. I mean, it's not funny, guys. We're making fun of that.
Participating in that.
I don't think I've ever. I think you had to hit you had to be like a diamond platinum obsidian obsidian driver just to be able to get
double
half
platinum.
a 2.5 inch veggie sub every year.
What's the funny thing is that you have to find the one Subway in your city that's participating.
Oh yeah. That doesn't have a paper sign printed out. That's
just like a horribly misspelled paper sign. Like they distributed these for some sort of a reason. I swear, everyone has the same one.
You're right.
Am I crazy about this?
No, you're not. I don't think so.
I don't understand what that is, but at the end of the day, Uber lost $1.1 billion. I actually, honestly, and if you go back to our videos before, I think Uber's doing pretty well. They think that they're going to be profitable by the end of Q4 next year, which is actually, they've moved it up since the last time. I think they will do it. And I was talking to you about this earlier. Uber Comfort is where they think that is the reason they think it's going to happen.
Uber Comfort. I think a lot of us that drive X also qualify for Comfort.
Yeah.
Especially those with newer cars.
You were saying, you said it's...
I don't qualify for it.
I qualify for it?
I qualify for premium Uber X deliveries.
Sorry, how? So what is...
I have no idea how I don't qualify for this.
But you were saying most drivers should qualify for Uber Comfort.
I mean, I don't even know.
You can't qualify for premium and comfort?
That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, nobody calls premium.
Yeah.
And
so if you're a premium driver, then you're just getting fucked. I don't understand.
Yeah.
We have to look into that and see why.
I might have to call Uber support.
Call Uber support.
I'll call them right now.
That's a...
if I do that, I'll see you guys next year.
But okay, so Uber Comfort. So I actually listened to and read all of Uber's financial things, and Uber Comfort is going to be a key to Uber becoming profitable because basically a key to their profitability is what they call the take rate, right? Which sounds very aggressive to us.
It sounds like an aggressive, evil company.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
We will absorb you.
Yeah, you're taking this from me. It doesn't sound great. It's actually not that bad because it's not always representative of how much of Uber necessarily taking more from you as a driver. It really, in the last couple of quarters, it more so means they're taking more from consumers because they're increasing their prices a little bit. But then you have stuff like Uber Comfort, which as a rider and really as a driver, it's almost no fucking different. There's not that much of a difference besides you have to be quiet and turn your air conditioner on sometimes.
I think Brandon told me yesterday. Oh, funny story. We got these mics yesterday, right? Let's post that video too. I'll put it on the beginning. But anyway, so on the way over, we're talking about Uber Comfort. We're driving to this place. And Brandon's like, yeah, this is the way I go to the airport. Sometimes I call Comfort. I'm like, why? Because sometimes I just don't want to talk. So Brandon is that passenger who
Sometimes I don't
selects
wanna
no conversation. What are the options?
It's like I honestly think the only thing that I can really remember is
I've never taken one.
you can choose to like have no conversation or conversation, and you can choose to have it like the air conditioner. Like I think there's a couple of different levels that you can pick.
Dude, you can pick the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Kidding me.
Honestly, and I don't even care about that. The only thing I care about is the fact that hey, I don't want to talk. The only thing I care about is I don't always want to talk. Like that's
And we did a study.
it.
We did a study here at Gridwise. We surveyed
we did.
200 or 500
It
drivers.
was like 500. It was
So-
500
and
something.
nearly 90, over 95%, or like something crazy high, right? 90%.
Oh, it was 90, but it was like it was a clear. I think it was like 60 or 70%.
Oh, okay. So like the majority of drivers think they need to talk, whereas a lot of passengers don't want to talk and think. Wait, where's the other way around? A lot of passengers think they need to talk as well.
No. Passengers generally don't want to talk.
Right,
But drivers
passengers-
generally do want to talk, which
Right.
makes sense because like you're doing this shit. Like entertain me, please.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's
Yeah.
like, yo, this is my 13th ride.
Yeah.
I need to talk to someone.
Yeah,
Like, and then you're just like, I'm
bored
just
out of my
leaving
mind.
work. I'm about to get on a plane. I'm scared of
Exactly.
turbulence. I don't want to talk to you right now. I need to
me.
focus
I'm
on
very scared
my.
of
I need to focus on my own mental health. before I fly.
Before.
I ain't trying to be your psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be my own psychiatrist.
Exactly. So
Get it, dude. That's I've never taken a comfort actually. Did you know that?
take
Brandon?
a comfort. Take a comfort.
I might take a comfort tonight.
Try it.
Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
know-
take one to the airport in a couple of days.
Are you gonna select no talk option?
Depends on like
You know
I
what?
don't know. Like,
Do
it's
us
like
a
in the
favor.
mood.
I want to hear from you on the next podcast. Take this one and just be like really outlandish. Like, I want maximum level of conversation. Pick that. Also, I want
Okay.
AC all the way down, maximum heat. You both sweating
No,
your
what
balls
we-
off.
No, what we should do is turn up the AC all the way up.
Oh yeah, because you wear your nice winter coat. It'd be like, I want the AC.
Well, yeah, it's like fucking February.
Make sure.
This
Well,
guy's
we
gonna be
always
like-
tip, but you'll tip at the end, obviously, to cover this troll.
Yeah.
Poor driver.
Poor driver.
Don't do it. I mean, hey, look, do it. How much do we usually tip?
I usually tip like at least $4 or $5.
Yeah, I do about 5 to 10, depending on.
Ooh, 5 to 10.
Yeah, but that's out of my own pocket. I have a cash tip
Oh, you do a cash tip.
because I know how the drivers want it. Because I am a driver
They
myself.
want it in cash.
They want it. I want it in cash.
Cash.
Yes.
What's that from?
No idea.
Ocean's 11.
Ah, Brandon,
Don-
that's like okay,
Don Cheadle?
okay, Brandon,
Don
okay,
Cheadle?
Boomer.
Okay, wait, is Ocean's 11 a boomer
No,
type of thing?
I just don't remember it.
Don Cheadle, he's dressed up as Elvis
Yeah, Don
Presley.
Cheadle.
He's dressed up as Elvis Presley. He goes and jumps off the ramp. And then, no, he's going to do that. He's trying to negotiate his money. And then he goes and sits down and he says, pay me my money in cash. Pinky.
Dude, you guys remember? Because I don't remember.
You guys remember. You know what I'm talking about. All right, but I think the important thing here is that Uber Comfort represents a huge spike in Uber's overall premium services, which is part of the reason their take rate has increased overall this year. So I think we're gonna have a blog post that talks more about this. I don't know, sometime soon. It might be already posted by the time we send this out. But yeah, that's gonna be big for Uber. Uber Comfort, I honestly think they had a pretty great like quarter, and I would expect them to do really well throughout the rest of this year.
And I hope once they do become profitable and do well, treat drivers better.
Treat your drivers better.
You're better than that.
Treat your drivers better. We'll talk about AB5 on another podcast. I'm sure.
Atlanta, go hard. Atlanta, go hard.
Which one is this?
Here's the thing, Brandon, aren't you from Atlanta?
No. I am from
Whoops.
I am from Detroit.
that's
So
not
I
even
was
close.
born there. I grew up in Chicago. I went to high school in Atlanta where I met Ryan, who's our CEO.
Wait, so you did live in Atlanta?
I did live there for 3 years. I don't think I'm from Atlanta.
Okay, so you're definitely not from there. But what do you know of Ashley Cascade apartment homes in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, I'm trying to figure out the location here.
I don't know anything
Okay,
about
geographically in the city, this is like
that. I promise you I don't know
southwest, about 30 minutes outside the city, outside of Loop. Well, Atlanta go hard.
What happened? Tell me what happened. I don't have
27-year-old Uber driver gets choke held. Is that
I think it's held. I think that would be proper.
held with a choke,
Held with a choke?
forcibly dragged out of her vehicle, and carjacked
Just like in the city or?
outside the city, just outside of Atlanta.
That's wild.
And it was targeted. They picked up the two
Were
culprits.
they targeting Uber drivers?
Yeah, picked up.
So they
The passengers carjacked.
did they
They pinged for a ride. She
so
drove
did they
up.
have like a fake like profile? Is that what
Might
they tried to
be.
do?
Might be a fake profile.
So one thing that I'm interested, I can't remember if did we talk
was a
about
robbery.
safety stuff like
Uh,
last podcast?
we didn't really talk much about it.
One thing that I'm like interested in that I guess I was talking to someone else about this was background checks for passengers. Like, cause like that safety report came out, you know, everyone's kind of up in arms, rightfully so, about the overall violence to passengers, but drivers also experience quite a bit. And you can see, I see videos all the time of drivers getting attacked in all sorts of ways. You know, are there going to be more checks for passengers instead of just on drivers?
Right now, you can just load up a debit card and just a Visa
Right.
prepaid and sign up for an account.
Right.
I've had many passengers with just one letter for their name.
Really?
Like, come on, Uber.
Yeah.
I'm picking up K from down in the alleyway.
Yeah.
What am I, Men in Black?
That's
like,
like
come on.
K and J over here.
Pay me in cash.
Like,
Pay me in cash.
It's I don't know. That's kind of sort of a problem,
Dude,
and it
Can't
might
make it
be more so going forward. But I just feel like that should. I mean,
it should be logical. Like, you should have one account that's tied to your like driver's license. And
or
that solves
some like
everything.
stronger ID. Yeah, like they don't necessarily. I don't
That
necessarily.
solves everything. All the asshole passengers,
But you know,
you
like
get banned, you can't get another one.
yeah, that would make a lot of sense because then you can always. Right now, I think it's tied to your phone, right?
I think it's just. Oh, it is. It might be tied to your phone.
But you can always switch your phone. Like that's
yeah,
not
you
that
can
hard to switch.
go to Cricket Mobile, buy a burner, and
Yeah, and then you're off
Visa
to the races
prepaid,
again.
and then you go chokehold some other driver. You know, you get to go.
That's probably what they did. They
You
were
just go through the alphabet: A, B, C.
They
Next week
just
you're
like
D.
cricket.
Then you're E.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're all the way through Z.
Yeah.
What do you do then? After your 26 carjacking.
Double A.
Oh, yeah. So always be careful of those triple letter names because they've been through that cycle.
Yeah. Those double A's.
Yeah.
That's at least 52 carjackings.
At least.
So
Well,
gotta be careful out here because shit's dangerous for drivers as well. I would encourage everyone to read our. This is obviously a little self promotion, but I would encourage everyone to read our safety article because it has some like pretty interesting thoughts on what Uber and Lyft are doing when it comes to safety, and then what they can be doing, and then what they should be doing, which in my opinion is a lot more in terms of passenger checks. I think that obviously they don't necessarily want to invest the money, but I think that's an important because drivers are put in harm's way as well.
totally agree. And we were talking about scams and Uber drivers getting hurt. This one is financially hurt. There's a scam that involves
tax guy.
It sure is.
Is the tax one? I don't.
Sure
you
is.
know this one better than I do.
So imagine if you don't drive Uber, and then all of a sudden you got served a 1099, Brandon. Imagine if all of a sudden you got a 1099 with your W-2.
Wait, so that guy didn't drive
No.
at all? I thought he was a driver, but
no.
Wow.
He was somebody who never signed up to be an Uber driver. Got a 1099 form from Uber. So for those of you who know, 1099 is basically a tax form that you get doing personal, operating your own
I
income.
think they all, everyone's a driver, right? You
Yeah,
should
but-
probably know what a 1099 is.
Probably should. But little quick refresher. If you satisfy the
This is not
requirements, I
tax
think it's
advice.
$600 of non-trip earning compensation earned. If it's greater than that, or you have greater than 200 trips or something like that, you have to look this up online on Uber's terms. You get a 1099. You can't ignore that because if you get a 1099, that's an official IRS tax document. So the IRS gets it too. So they know your social security number. They know you. And they know that you have income reported as a 1099. You can't just ignore this. It doesn't go away. So this person was he was liable. You have to pay taxes, right? So now he's liable for some of that money statement on the 1099, or maybe be even more liable.
Did they
for
say how
audit.
much it was?
They didn't say how much it was.
That's
I can read it for you right now. Would you like to hear it? Would you like to hear it? That's a resounding yes. Hello, I am not an Uber driver, nor have I ever been. I received a 1099 in my name and with my address, but with somebody else's social security number on it. I have been trying to report this to Uber for 2 to 3 days and have bounced around their help desk.
Wait. I know I mean to cut you off, but this is that's kind of like irrelevant. Like your tax stuff is tied to your social security number and not your name and your address.
Oh, you're right. Now
So
that
this
I'm reading
guy's kind of this guy.
You're right, but with somebody else's social security number. So there's 3 victims. There's the guy with the social security number issue and the guy with his name and his address.
No, I think that what's actually going on is that this guy is freaking out because someone else
Maybe messed up the name and address.
Yeah, I guess they messed up the name and address.
This is a triangle that is not of the love variety. All right?
So what I thought was happening here was that someone stole his social security number and name and address.
That's what I thought happened.
And then they were driving around as him. And then so they stole his identity in order to work really hard.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking a lot of like
they wanted to work their asses off.
They wanted to feel the burn. So that's what I was thinking. Now that I'm reading this, it does not seem like that. But I thought it was like someone on first read. I thought it was someone who was like, okay, I can't legally work for some reason. Mm-hmm. You know, I got a felony charge. You know, I'm here illegally. I'm gonna drive Uber. Oh wait, I can't do that. I gotta fake someone's persona. So they buy a stolen social security number, put it in that person's identity, and then become an Uber driver.
But this is like generally not this guy's problem, right? Like
it sounds. Dude, I mean, his name and his address though.
Right, but it's not his social. So like, what is it? It literally. I wonder if it's like just a digit off or something. I would be curious what that is. But like, if it's not his social, then it's not tied to him. Like the IRS isn't gonna like hunt him down for the. Well, I don't know. He might get like some letters and shit, but like he could just be like, well, this isn't me. This is not my social security number, and tell the IRS to fuck off.
Dude, I'm not a lawyer, so I have no idea.
This is not tax advice.
Yeah, this is definitely not tax advice.
All right, so this guy may or may not be in trouble. We can't tell.
We can't tell. We don't know.
Okay.
But we figured we'd tell you.
I mean, I think it's kind of a
because maybe you're lawyers.
Yeah, if you're a lawyer, please go to the Uber drivers thread. There's what is that? Far Astray. He needs some help.
Yeah.
One more thing. We got one more thing to talk about, right?
One more thing. CEO of a big company in Tempe, Arizona. You know what else happened in Tempe a few years ago? Uber self-driving vehicle killed a woman.
Very tragic. Very
tragic.
Sad.
So it seems like nothing good's coming out of Tempe here. This time, a CEO was caught on dash cam calling an Uber driver racial slurs.
The racial slur of racial slurs, too.
The one that you are forbidden to use.
The very obvious one, which is like that's a step. He got fired, didn't he?
Dude, totally. He got fired the next day.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That company took swift action.
I don't understand the people that do these things. Like these very like obvious and like outlandish displays of racism that are clearly like you're gonna get fired.
Obscene. It's not only obscene, it's absurd. I can't even imagine how can you possibly do that?
The funny thing is like he was like, I was drunk. Okay, so you just turn super racist when you're drunk.
I mean, it's just showing your true colors.
You become ridiculously racist.
It's amazing.
When you're drunk. And like the video, I don't know, we should probably link the video, right?
We'll link the video.
The video is like he gets set off by not that much.
It wasn't even that much. I forget what it was.
Not that much. It's
it was like, it was. He wanted to sit in the front seat.
Right. Which this is a question. Like as a passenger, I'm not really a driver, so I'm not gonna. I don't know that. That's why we have.
I don't personally mind people sitting in the front.
Gridwise J.
But a lot of drivers do. A lot of not me personally, but a lot.
I honestly, personally, as a passenger, I would never want to just sit in the front. Like I don't even want to talk to people. So maybe I'm in like.
Oh, you know what you should do? Get the comfort. Get the Uber comfort.
And then
select no conversation. Sit your ass in the front seat. Oh my goodness!
That driver's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?
Oh, please!
Why is he doing this?
Please do that.
That would be hilarious." But I mean, I don't really want to sit in the front. This is another safety thing for drivers.
For us.
This driver, he didn't like people in the front because he had a sexual assault incident happen to him years before that. So he had a very valid reason for why he didn't want people in the front. He asked this guy, it seems very politely, "Hey, could you sit in the front?" The guy starts to get in the back, and then I don't know, I think some words were exchanged, and then he just
went off.
He just let it rip.
Went straight up 1837 on this guy.
1837.
Freaking
went Django on him.
We need to link this, and we will. You got to see it with your own eyes and hear it with your own ears.
It's a lot. I don't know. I don't quite understand why.
Okay. Should he have been fired?
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, I'm just trying to start conversations here.
I do agree.
He should be fired.
Yeah. I mean, you can't do that, and you can't I don't know why people just think of drivers as like punching bags,
dude.
Like people are
service industry, man.
You're getting in someone else's car. Like holy
it's amazing.
Shit.
Like I sometimes even have those passengers that they look down on me like this Uber driver.
Yeah. They
don't see me as we see me as Gridwise J. They see me as this Uber slave.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's a societal thing that I think like we whatever reason, like service workers in general, like we don't always treat them well.
I do though,
especially Uber drivers.
I treat Uber drivers well.
$10 cash tips from Jay, from Gridwise J over here. But yeah, definitely a horrible thing there. He got fired. I'm sure he's getting deactivated by Uber. Lyft is probably gonna just say fuck it, we'll deactivate him as well. He's gonna probably become a little bit more racist after this. I don't know.
I hope not. I hope it's a learning experience for this guy.
I'm sure he learned not to say it.
He's totally old too.
He was super.
Can you teach an old dog new tricks? I hope so.
I hope so as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens with them. All right.
Uber self-driving cars.
What about them?
Are the key and path to profitability.
I forgot we were going to talk about this, but I also strongly disagree with this. One, because clearly, quite obviously, as we said before, Uber thinks they're going to be profitable by 2020, so they're not going to have autonomous cars by the Q4 next year. So no, it's not the key to profitability for them. Also, autonomous cars are going to be vastly more expensive than humans are right now. Because people don't realize how expensive AI is and in terms of taking over jobs and shit like that. It's going to be super expensive. They're not in any sort of rush, and they're far as fuck away from being able to do that. As I'm sure you know, all the fringe cases and things like that, they are so far from being able to tackle that stuff. So I am on quite a soapbox here, but no, I don't think that's going to happen.
We are literally sitting underneath an autonomous vehicle company. They're above us.
I thought they were over there.
That's a building company. But the whole thing above us, 4 floors, are all autonomous vehicles.
Yeah.
So they do that, and also Uber ATG is down the street. So we got 2 robot self-driving car companies in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I ain't seen no self-driving cars on the road. It's 2020.
They're based in Pittsburgh. There's supposed to be a lot of them.
Right. If anyone should know, we should know because we're literally at ground zero of autonomous vehicles.
I've taken at least 100 Ubers in Pittsburgh.
If I drilled upwards 1 story, I would hit an autonomous vehicle or something related to it.
But
I'm not even joking. This entire office building, the top floor, that's all them.
But if you drove around the city for 25 hours, you would not see a single autonomous car.
If you drove in the city of Pittsburgh, like outside their bounds, no. But if you drive like here, I probably see one a day now on my morning commute to work.
You see one a day?
One a day, that's it.
Did we talk about like they're launching in DC?
We did. And we talked about how drivers should not be worried.
Should not be worried because again, it is not the path to profitability.
It ain't gonna take your job just yet.
It's so far away. It's like 10 years away from being viable for Uber or Lyft. It'll be interesting to see if they are even the ones that do it. Is it going to be like a Tesla?
We would have autonomous stores before we have autonomous vehicles.
I mean, Amazon's almost there with the
Pretty much
autonomous
it.
stores.
Can you imagine Amazon's algorithm just buying shit for you?
You know what I really want to talk about? There was some company, I think it was Apptopia. They were on CNBC, and I haven't really watched this, so I'm going to speak a little bit out of turn here because I haven't really watched this. But they said Lyft is on pace to surpass Uber.
What?
That was my exact reaction.
What?
They said based on like the app data, Lyft was on pace to surpass Uber.
On app data? App usage data?
Yeah, let me pull this up because I actually really want to.
That is definitely news to me. Are they just secretly working like elves?
Yeah.
Before Christmas?
Apptopia. They said Lyft is on pace to surpass Uber in the U.S. And they basically are using. Apptopia is a company that have really nice data sets, and they basically can tell you how many monthly active users, daily active users, I think weekly active users, like different apps have. So they are claiming that that Lyft is on pace to surpass Uber in the U.S. and they have some like app data to pass it up. And let me kind of read here.
Oh my goodness! I mean, it just clicked for me. They're both the same app. They're both the same service. They pay their drivers the same. It pretty much costs the same. Why wouldn't someone just use Lyft?
Because Uber is just the standard. Like, if you ask any driver if they are driving for Uber or Lyft, a good amount of them are just going to say Uber.
Right. They do. I do know this for a fact. Even driving here, you make less money with Lyft.
Good amount of them drive for Uber
less
and
demand.
Lyft.
Less demand.
Like literally, like almost no one just drives for Lyft, right? Like very few drivers do that.
You know what the typical Lyft driver experience is like here?
No.
Ping, 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 ping. Go pick up somebody 32 minutes away. For Uber, go pick up somebody down the street.
Yeah, this is why like I have to like really dive into like their data set here. I think we might even do like a response article just because I think this could be interesting to kind of call them out here. I would like our marketing to take a more Wendy's approach where we're just kind of calling out other companies.
Wendy's Twitter approach?
Yeah.
Or okay.
I want to have a sassy marketing strategy.
I wonder, is that a team that's doing that, or is that like a single sassy person?
My wife and I, we were talking about this the other day, and she because she works in PR for like big companies like this. She says she thinks that basically what they have is
some intern.
They have some they have like a monitoring team, and like that's part of like they might pay our PR team to like do that. So they have a monitoring team. They monitor stuff like always, and then when they see an opportunity, they say, okay, we're gonna ship this off to a bunch of copywriters. They think of something funny. They send it back to the social team. They get approval, and then they send it out.
Right. That makes more sense.
I mean that's our guess. I don't know if that's true, but that's what we're thinking.
Makes it so fake. It's not just one person at Wendy's going.
No,
hey.
No, you can't think Wendy's is just gonna let some kid just talk shit on the internet.
It's always like I always wonder how they got away with talking that much shit.
No, it goes through mad approval process. They're really fast on it, which is cool and interesting. But I don't think that they are just like.
I mean, the part about copywriters is I never even thought about that. Sending out to like 100 different people writing it.
Yeah. See, a lot of so the reason I think that Lyft isn't catching Uber in any time soon is just because obviously they make a lot more. They have a shit ton more revenue. And I think like this Apptopia article, again, like I am going to go back and read it thoroughly and then have a detailed and thoughtful response to this. But I am assuming that they basically don't quite understand how much of Uber's revenue is just from the US and how many more drivers drive for Uber than Lyft. And I think all like the key for growth for Lyft is how well they're going to be able to take Uber drivers. And I just don't think that they're going to be able to ever match Uber like in terms of drivers in the US.
I'm sorry, I was not paying attention to what you were saying. I was too busy reading Wendy's savage roasts. Holy moly.
They had one the other day, man, that I what do you got right now? I wish we need to figure out how to do a better job of like having shit on the screen.
Yeah. Mostly it seems like they're just roasting McDonald's.
Yeah, no, they go hard at McDonald's. Burger King and McDonald's, they absolutely destroy them.
Yeah.
1,000%. Like they're vicious. It's kind of like
somebody asked if the beef is never frozen, like just some random human being, then how do you guys keep it fresh at Wendy's? And Wendy's replied, refrigerators. That's pretty savage.
Wendy's
what is Subway
Wendy's
good
goes
at?
hard.
Underground transportation. Not even acknowledging.
Wendy's
Dude, Wendy's
hard.
is savage.
What's it? What's you guys' favorite Twitter account? It's not Gridwise because we don't.
Someone asked, who's running this page? Wendy's responds, 3 dogs in a trench coat pretending to be human. Dude, they have to be copywriters. Not just one person thinks up these funny things.
Yeah, no, there's a team of copywriters. They have like 3 of them in the room. There's some funny ass guys and girls, guys and girls.
Yeah, guys and girls.
And they just have fun.
Not that we use copywriters, which we don't, but if we were to use copywriters, which we may in the future, what would it take to be a copywriter?
To be a copywriter?
Yeah.
Copywriters are generally just like witty people. Like you can like they're generally just like funny, like witty people because like the key to being a good copywriter is just being able to like imaginatively like think of like shit. It's that piece plus like also the piece of like being able to like understand, hey, how based on like who this market is, like how should I speak to them? So any drivers out there, you want to be copywriters. If you're funny, you could do it for sure. If you just kind of also think about, you know, who are you writing to? So
I'm feeling we have a Twitter account.
You want to start roasting Uber?
Yes. I mean, that's funny. You're witty. You should be a copywriter.
Who should we start roasting? If you do?
I don't know. Why don't we let the Gridwisers decide? Gridwise.
Who should we roast?
Who should we roast first? You let us know. We will roast them.
We will roast.
Let us know in the comments below. Yeah, let's vote right now. Let us know in the comments right now if you're watching this. Write a comment for which corporation we should be roasting on social media, specifically Twitter, from our corporate Twitter account.
Let us know.
And Brandon and I will write. We'll do the roasting.
We'll do it. Well, not getting fired. Hopefully.
Is this how I get fired?
I think one thing that we want to do with this podcast is not get fired. So
right, but still vote because I'm sure we can say.
I think we'll be able to say something without getting fired.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
let's figure out a way.
Do you want us to roast you?
We could roast you.
Tweet at us. Come at us.
There's like, you ever see that Reddit where there's a Reddit where people like post a picture of themselves and just say roast me.
Oh yeah, I love that subreddit. Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we
don't do that. That is definitely gonna get us fired.
Oh, yeah,
that is definitely gonna
Let's roast real corporations like Uber, like Google.
Without getting fired.
Without getting fired, yeah.
Or just completely taking our app somehow. Okay. All right. I think that's a
wrap.
That's a wrap. That's all we got for today.